Hello everyone, welcome to another video with daddydaughtercardbreaks. My name is Clay.
My name is Sydney.
Lucky is talking already. He's excited, he's ready to go because he knows today is the first time Sydney and I are doing a video of a blind submission. There he is, of graded cards that we sent in and had graded. We sent this particular stack of cards to GMA. Now, before you say GMA, why GMA? Let me explain just a little bit. But first of all, Sydney, do you know why cards are graded to begin with?
No.
Well, for the most part, it is so they never change their condition after that. You know, if you send in a card and it's a certain condition, you can pretty much guarantee that 10 years from now, it's going to be in that same condition. So if you send it in and it is a perfect card and it comes back gem mint, it's going to always be gem mint. So long as nobody goes in and tampers with it, and nobody tries to do any funny business and you know, swap the cards out, or you know, try to I guess pull a fast one on the general public. You know, as long as they don't try to do something like that, that card is never going to change the condition that it's in, more or less. So that is one of the main reasons why you get cards graded. Plus, yeah, you can get a better return on a graded card than a non-graded card in the secondary market. So, I do have a subscription to PSA. I do have the, at one time, I had the platinum level, I'm sorry, the gold membership is what I had at one time, years ago. And it come with free submissions when you first signed up and that sort of stuff. And the pricing back then was a heck of a lot better than what it is today. But we're going to take a look here real quick at a couple things. Alright, and then I'm going to explain to you why I went GMA with these particular cards. So this is PSA as of today. And as you can see, because of the fact that we are members with PSA, we do have access to the value columns. So we can send cards in and have them graded at the value level. And right now, a card from 2018 and newer, which would be the value ultra modern, it is $25 a card to have it graded by PSA. And that has a maximum declared value of $499. So after the card is graded, if it is worth $499 or less, you can send it in and have it go through the value selection, the value service at PSA. The problem with that is with PSA and the value service, those things are going to sit there and sit there and sit there for a long time. Now, I do have a 20 card submission to PSA right now. We send it here. We sent it from here. We mailed it in on December 21st. It got there on January 5th, and it has not been touched since it got into their warehouse. So it's been sitting there for almost 2 months now in the same spot, I assume, as what it was the day it got there. So I wanted to test GMA as far as the pricing, as far as the timeliness, as far as can we make some sort of return off these cards once they were graded. So at the time that I sent these cards into PSA, we sent 20 Pokemon cards in, and at the time, let me get back over to this screen real quick. I want to show you the pricing at that time was $10 per card. You had a 20 card minimum, and the max declared value could only be $199 at that time. So for the 20 cards plus the return shipping and insurance, the total, hello Lucky, the total was $235 to have those 20 Pokemon cards graded, which of course, again, still sitting there in the same spot as what they have been since they got there. And again, 2 months later, because they got there on January 5th. So on January, I think it was January 7th, or no, I'm sorry, February 7th, I decided I was going to send some cards to GMA just to see what the timeliness was. And at that time, GMA was at $8 per card, and then it was a $20 return, shipping, and insurance. And we sent in 10 cards, so that was $100 that it was going to cost us to get those 10 cards graded. But anyway, let's go back over to our other screen here real quick. Get the internet pulled back up, because while I've got these the PSA list pulled up here, I want to go ahead and show you a couple other things. Now it's a 10 card minimum, so the cost would be the same with higher declared values now. So now you could still send in and hit their minimum of 10 cards, and it would still be about $235 for the return, shipping, and the grading if we send in the Pokemon cards today. Only thing is, again, the prices have doubled, so now we would only get 10 cards graded as opposed to 20 if we wanted to use this level. Now, anybody can, you don't have to have a membership to PSA to send cards in. Anybody can do that. But the regular service here, as you can see now, is $100 per card, as to where just last month it was $50 per card. So they have doubled their prices on in the past couple days, and from what I understand, it's all in an effort to get caught up. You know, they've got such a backlog right now that they're really having a hard time getting caught up at PSA, and they're hoping that by raising these prices, it's going to deter some of the submissions that are coming in, especially on the bulk services. But anyway, let's go back over here. While I've got this pulled up, I thought it would be kind of interesting to go over a couple of the other grading companies. So we're looking at PSA here, and then here is Beckett. Beckett would probably be the number 2. As far as, you know, you got your big 3 grading companies. You got PSA, Beckett, and SGC. And I just me personally, I put them as PSA number 1, Beckett number 2. But there may be some people out there that would say Beckett's number 1 and PSA's number 2. But here's a price list of current Beckett pricings. They did raise some of their prices too. As you can see right now, their economy level is $35 a card with subgrades, $20 a card without subgrades. And even their standard level at $50 a card with no subgrades, if you look at their turnaround times, here's a list of their estimated turnaround times. Their standard submission is at 5 months right now. So if you send that card in and pay $50 to have it graded, it's not going to come back to you for at least 5 months. So that's a long time to wait for graded cards, depending on what you're wanting to do with them. If you're wanting to flip them and resell the cards as they get graded and try to get a better price out of it because it's been graded, a lot of times by the time you're getting these back from PSA or Beckett or even SGC right now, because their time frames are extending, that card may not even be relevant anymore. You know, and people are no longer searching for that card, and they're no longer wanting to pay the premium price on what they are seeing these cards go for. So now their express service, if you use their express service with no subgrades, you can get that at $100 per card, and depending on what that card is, that may actually be worth it with Beckett. To use their express service, no subgrades, it would just come back looking like this hockey card right here. It would just say 9.5 on it and give you, what it is, gem mint, but it won't have the subgrades like what this Barry Bonds card shows here with the extra grades on it right there. That isn't necessarily too bad depending on what the card is, because the express time turnaround is 10 to 15 days. So for $100, you could send in that card and it'll come back in 10 to 15 business days. So that's not too terribly bad. So anyway, let's step over here and let's look at SGC. SGC right now at $500, $1,500 to $3,500 declared value range. They're doing a 65 to 70 approximate business days that it would take. And then respectively, that's $15, $35, and $85 a card. Or on any of those declared value levels, $100 per card, and you get it back, or they get done with it in 1 to 2 business days. So SGC, maybe not too bad to send some of the better cards in that you want to try and flip pretty quick at that $100 level. and get those back in just a few days. Now let's look at GMA. GMA is, again, the one that Sydney and I chose to go with just to kind of test them out, see what we could get back out of the cards, see what the time frame was on the cards. And again, I sent them from my house on February 7th, and here it is March 2nd, and they got back to us. So they come back pretty quick. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about was when we sent these off. Again, it was $8 per card and $20 for the return shipping and insurance, and it was, so that's $100. And when I got the receipt, or I'm sorry, the invoice from GMA, as you can see here, I paid with PayPal. That's another plus about GMA. They do accept PayPal. They sent the invoice and it was $100. And then about 2 minutes later, I got a second invoice from GMA for $58. And it was the same transaction ID, and that $100 one was no longer valid. So I paid the $58 one, and the box got delivered. So, did they grade all the cards? That's the only question that I have. Is there some reason or other maybe they didn't grade a few of these 10 cards that we sent in, and why we only ended up having to pay $58 on this invoice? I'm not sure. They do grade sports cards and non-sports cards, and I did send in 3 or 4. I can't remember. I did send in 3 or 4 Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I can't remember if I sent any other non-sports cards or not. So I guess it's possible that some of these didn't get graded and they just sent them back for whatever reason. And that may have been the reason it was only $58 as opposed to the $100 it was supposed to be. But I'm not sure, but we'll get into that here momentarily. But anyway, they have also raised their prices. As of right now, their Gold Express 10 business days is $20 per card. But their prices altogether are not too terribly bad. I don't think I would ever pay $10 per card and use their 50-day economy. I would probably, if I was going to go the economy route, I would just go ahead and go PSA if you're going to be waiting that long anyway, because if you're trying to hyper flip something, you're going to want it back much quicker than that. So if it's for your personal collection, just go with PSA on their low-end pricing. But so their standard business, 25 business days, $12 a card. That's not horrible. Standard business is actually what we did on there. So that's actually went up $4 per card, though. Another service right now, brand new company, HGA. HGA is 10 days, and it's a guaranteed 10 days, and it's $55 a card, which is a little pricey for a brand new company, but you may have seen some HGA review videos already. They got some really good looking cases. They color coordinate their labels with the cards and things like that, and the cards look really, really good inside the HGA cases. So I've got a pretty good feeling that HGA, you're going to start seeing more and more of those graded cards coming from HGA. One of the reasons that they can guarantee this, though, and really it's not a downfall, it's actually a plus for collectors and submitters, but they only accept so many cards per week, so they know they can hit their deadline. So as of right now, they're not accepting any more cards as of this week, and it is only Tuesday. They won't open up again until Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when they'll start accepting cards again. And then once they get to that weekly limit, they're going to shut off submissions again. So HGA, I think you're going to be hearing a lot more out of them. And then finally, one that I've found just in the past few days, and only because David Adams started recently advertising them, as David Adams, I guess, is an official submitter now of CSG grading. And CSG, as you can see here, their prices are pretty close to like a PSA or a Beckett or an SGC, with their walkthrough service and their express service and their standard service, and looks like 40 days on their economy at $15 a card. So again, if I'm going to go with CSG, I'm just going to go ahead and go with GMA and get it back that much quicker, which is, again, what Sydney and I did. So, we are going to get into this box. Some of these cards, I don't even remember every card that I sent into GMA, which, you know, kind of a problem in itself because now I can't prove if they sent me all my cards back or not. But I do know I sent 10 cards. That was one of the other things. You print off a form for GMA, and there's no electronic record of it like what there is with PSA. So that's a definite something that I think they need to try and fix in the future. But anyway, we are going to get into this as soon as I find my handy dandy box cutter here. Well, I'm not going to be able to find it apparently, so I'll just use some scissors. And we will look at these grades for the first time together off of our GMA submission here. I know I sent a holiday baseball Luis Robert rookie. I know I sent in a Hoops premium stock Zion Williamson rookie. But other than that, I don't remember specifically what I sent in. So, okay. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to see if we have 10 return cases. To see if they did grade all 10 cards. As you can see there's a Randy Arozarena. So apparently I sent in a Randy Arozarena. They did not grade all the cards. Okay, so that is why it only cost $58. So we are going to have to see what happened there. See which cards they didn't grade and if they give an explanation of why they didn't grade them. I'm assuming it is the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and that's exactly what it is. They did not grade. I sent in 5 Yu-Gi-Oh cards apparently. They did not grade the 5 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So they did not have anywhere on their website that stated that they did not grade Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It just said that they did grade non-sports cards. So I'll have to look into that a little bit. But that's okay because, again, we didn't have to pay for that. So I will, if I go to grade these, I will just send those somewhere else now. Just kind of wanted to get an idea of what their graded cards look like. Alright, so we're going to start here, obviously, with this Randy Arozarena because that's the first one there on the back. And we're going to try and cover up the grade before I flip it over. See if we can blind reveal this together. Alright, so there it is. 2020 Prism Randy Arozarena rookie. And that come back a mint 9. So, GMA had been noted for just handing out 10s. So when I sent these in, I sent in some really good examples of cards. So I did not send in anything that I thought, you know, would not had the possibility of coming back at 10. So I don't question this whatsoever. Would I rather have a 10? Sure. But at the same time, you know, people just say they hand out 10s. They hand out 10s way too easy. So nothing wrong with that one there. So here is our Luis Robert Holiday. So we'll get that grade covered up best we can. So 2020 Topps Holiday, Luis Robert. And that one also come back a mint 9. So again, not a 10. So this is our Zion. So let's try to get that grade covered up. So 2019 Hoops Premium Stock Zion Williamson 258. And that did come back a Gem Mint 10. Well, that's it. That is a good looking card. I kind of figured that one there had a really, really good chance of coming back at 10. So I am super happy to see that one there came back a Gem Mint 10 from GMA. Alright, so we have another Luis Robert here. It is, I don't even remember which one it says, Panini Chronicles Legacy. Yep, so it's the Legacy Rookie, 2020 Chronicles, Luis Robert. Number 8, and that one come back a Gem Mint 10. So 2 9s and 2 10s. So that's a good looking card. So this Nico Mannion here, it is going to be the one to say, did we get more 10s? Did we get more 9s? Heck, this one may have come back an 8.5. You never know. So it is the 2020 Prism Draft Pick Nico Mannion Downtown. Really good looking card. I didn't personally see anything wrong with it, but here we go. It is a mint 9. So again, guys, we sent in 10 cards. It's unfortunate that for whatever reason they did not grade the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but again, we got, out of our 5 cards that they did grade, we got 3 9s, the Nico Mannion Downtown, the Luis Robert Holiday rookie card, the Randy Arozarena 2020 Prism rookie card, and then we did get back 2 Gem Mint 10s, the premium stock hoops, Zion Williamson, and the 2020 Chronicles Legacy Luis Robert. So anyway, guys, that's a little bit longer video than what we have been doing. So I do apologize if that was a little bit long, but we wanted to share that opening with you, that return. And so we appreciate you guys being here with us. If you're still watching this, if you are concerned about the dog that got away from us yesterday, he still has not been located. We have flyers out. The local police department knows about it. We have ads on Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and things of that nature. So wife's out actually looking for him right now. I looked for him a lot this morning. But some things still have to continue. And this is one of them. Sydney and I we discussed it, and of course we have to continue on. So we will get out there now. We will start once again driving around, seeing if we can locate Mr. Duncan. But we appreciate you guys for being here with us today, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.